Okay, so let's start this. So yesterday we have seen the basic stats intro, and also we have seen the difference between what statistical, uh, inferential, and descriptive statistics. Agree? So now, yeah. So now let's go further. Okay. So we have seen inferential and we have seen descriptive. And inside that, descriptive is just descriptive, so it's not that helpful. Okay, but inferential is very helpful because we are trying to bring out some insights. Okay, so fine. So let's see next topics. So next thing, what we are going to do here is we are going to see some types of data. Okay, so types of data. Now, yeah. So this is very important, guys. See, uh, basically, data is divided into two types. One is categorical. Okay, other thing is numerical, or I will try to use the same thing instead of using this. Okay, see, one is categorical. Okay, one is numerical. I- so first of all, categorical and numerical means, in categorical you will have only categories. Okay, categorical means you will have only categories. Okay, that means what? It could be like which political party is going to win. Fine. So it will be either BJP or Congress or TRS. Okay, that's it. There are only three categories. You don't have anything in between. Fine. True or false. Getting? Pass or fail. Yes or no. Right. So there are only like fixed number of possibilities. Okay. So there are only fixed number of possibilities, and these are categories. That's why it's called categorical in nature. So apart from this, you cannot have any other output. So if the output should be yes or no, that's all. You cannot have any other option. It should be either true or false. That's it. Okay. That is categorical in nature. Now, if it is numerical, that means it could be any number. Agree? It could be any number. Okay. So this is categorical nature, but here numerical means it could be any number. And now in this also we have two things. One is discrete and one is continuous. Okay. You should pay attention, guys, here, because your whole machine learning will be uh, first segregated based upon these two. So if it is new, just to tell you, if the output variable is categorical, it comes under what classification. If the output is numerical, it is regression. So just based upon these concepts, there is a complete division between the regression algorithms and classification algorithms. Okay, so that's why these are important. So now coming to numerical, as I said, the output will be numbers. Okay, and inside numbers also there could be two types of possibilities. One is discrete, one is continuous. Now what is this discrete? Here also discrete means fixed numbers. Fixed numbers means what? For example, how many kids do you have? Okay, how many kids do you have? It will be either 1, 2, 4, 5, some fixed number, right? So some countable fixed number, right? But it cannot be like 4.5, it cannot be 3.8, something like that, right? Similarly, okay, similarly, let's say uh like how many students, yeah, how many students in a class. Okay, any sort of example, how many students in a class, on how many members in a family. Okay, and right, how many degrees do you have, right? They're only fixed countable numbers. Fine. That comes under discrete. But whereas continuous, right, whereas continuous, right, this could be like continuous values. That means the range is not countable. For example, let's say, let's say you are having, let me take example of weight. Okay, weight of a person. Okay. Now coming to weight of the person, that could be anything, right? The weight of the person can start from, let's say, newly born baby might be 4 kgs, and an adult if it is 100 kgs. So this weight can take any value. It could be 4, it could be 7.5, it could be 8.32 or 98.89. Any value it can take from 4 to 100. You cannot count how many number of values that are possible. Are you getting, guys? Here in discrete, you can clearly specify how many, what are the possible output values. Okay, if at all, let's say I'm asking how many kids, okay, how many kids a particular person is having, okay, in today's generation, right? The number can be 0 or 1 or 2 maximum, right? 0, 1 or 2. Now these are the only possible outputs. Apart from this, you cannot have any other output. Agree? So that means there are countable number of outputs, right? So that comes on the discrete. Fine. But whereas continuous, let's say, what could be the weight of a particular person, right? It can range anything, right? So let's say he's an adult, okay? The range can vary from 40 to, let's say, 70 kgs. If the range is this, in between this, the range could be anything, right? It could be 64.5 decimal values also, it can take any value, right? Any value it can take. Agree? So that's why continuous values are not countable. For example, price of a house, guys. Okay, price of the house, what could be the price of a house? It could be any price, right? It could be 4 lakhs, just an example. It's 50 lakhs, 40 lakhs and 352, or 39 lakhs and 8,059, something. Any value it is possible, right? For the house, you cannot count how many possible outputs or possible outcomes you can have, right? So in that case, it's called as continuous. Okay, so I'll just summarize. Category, the data is divided into two parts. Okay, one is categorical, one is numerical. If it is categorical, that means you will have fixed number of categories. Okay, you will have fixed number of categories. But coming to numerical, again you have two types, discrete and continuous. If it is discrete, they are fixed. These are fixed countable numbers. Okay, the possible numbers are fixed. Okay, as I said, number of kids a person can have, or number of members in a family. Okay, number of members, if I ask how many members are living in a family, so the possible values are what you can simply predict, right? In today's generation, let's say it could be 2, 3, 4. Okay, maximum if it is a joint family, let's say 10. Fine. So you can simply count. They are countable. Okay, the possible outputs are simply countable. You can decently count them, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but if I ask the same question, what are the weights of each person in the family? Okay, what are the weights of the each person in the family? Then that becomes difficult, right? One person weight could be anything, right? It can be, as I said, it can be 59.3. Other person, a girl, my weight might be, let's say, like 38.9. A child weight might be something like 10.3. Okay, you have like infinite numbers, right? Infinite possible numbers of weights. So you cannot count those. Getting? You cannot count those. So that's why those are called continuous values. Similarly, salary also, right? What could be a person's salary, right? Even if you say uh, a fresher salary is 4 lakhs and maximum salary is, let's say, 8 lakhs. In between these two also, what all values can a salary take, guys? It can take anything, right? 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs and 354 point something decimals if I include. So innumerable, right? Uncountable number of values are possible between this range, right? So that's why you cannot count them, and that's why these are called continuous values, right? Is this clear, guys? I need to know. Did you guys understand this categorical and what is numerical?
Yes, Santosh.
Yes. Okay, fine. So, but now here is a catch regarding the categorical. There is one very small important thing. Okay. Now, as I said, categorical means categories, numerical means numbers. That's fine. But In categorical also, sometimes you can have, okay, sometimes you can have, let's say the output is the here the values could be 0 comma 1. Okay, it could be 0 comma 1. That means what? Let's say a categorical column is there, which is gender. Okay, inside gender, what you will have? You will have male and female, right? So I am encoding, so male as 0, female as 1. So the here my values are 0 and 1 in categorical. Okay, so the important point here is categorical values can also have numbers. Okay, but these numbers should not be literally taken as numbers. Agree? So these are just a representation, categorical representation of a particular column. Okay, that means what? Here you are having 0 and 1, right? So these are not actual numbers, these are just encoded values representing some other actual categorical value. So that means they should not be taken literally as math numbers. That means you cannot say 1 plus 1 equal to 2 here. Okay, this one is not actual one, is one is just representation of female. But whereas numerical, these are the actual numbers. 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 becomes 2. Okay, similarly, for example, let's say we are trying to predict like what all degrees a particular person can, or what is a what all I would say like his academics. If you are trying to predict, let's say his 10th class intermediate, okay, and let's say his graduation, post graduation. Okay, these are the possible outputs. Okay, this is categorical in nature, right? Because there are only 4 outputs. Okay, so but now what happens, just to give you an overview, if you want to train a machine learning model, obviously any model, or for that matter system, any basic system will not understand anything except numbers. Agree? It doesn't know anything, it only understands numbers. Fine. It doesn't know what is male, it doesn't know what is female, it doesn't know what is true, false, nothing. It understands only numbers. So whatever you do at the end of the day, if when you're passing something to a model, you should convert them into numbers, plain numbers. So if it is discrete, obviously they're already present in the form of numbers, so you don't need to do anything. Okay, but coming to categorical, right? So as I said, if this is a problem we are trying to solve, if we are trying to see what's his academics, right? So let's say whether he has done 10th or inter or graduation or post graduation, we cannot directly send this to the model, because model does not make any sense to the model, right? So that's what you're going to do. You need to encode this 0 1 2 3. Okay, so now 2 becomes gender, sorry, graduation, 3 becomes post graduation, like that. So now the system will understand. Okay, but these numbers, as I said, don't blindly think if it is numbers it's numerical, and if it is non-numbers or some characters or alphabets it's categorical. Not always. Okay, be careful guys. If you see the output, okay, or as of now if you see a column, right, so with continuous values, okay, or a wide range of categories, okay, wide range of categories. Okay, so or I would say wide range of numbers, right? Fine. That means even in this, coming to numerical, okay, as I said, discrete is what? Fixed numbers. Okay, now fixed numbers, when you're having fixed numbers, right, so you'll not have only 1 or 2, so you can have 1 2 5 8 9 10. Okay, so you will have a wide range of numbers. Okay, in discrete also, in continuous also, obviously you'll have wide range. Okay, but coming to categorical, as I said, sometimes categorical can also take numbers. Okay, when we encode, categorical will also take numbers. Okay, but these numbers most of the time they will be pretty much limited. Okay, that why? Because in any column you will have maximum 3 to 4 categories. Okay, you will have mostly 3 to 4 or maximum 5, mostly 2 or 3 or 4 categories, right? So that means you will have only less range of numbers, like you will have either 0 1 or 0 1 2 0 1 2 3. Okay, but based upon the column you should able to understand whether this is a these numbers are categorical or numerical. Okay, so don't, again repeating, don't blindly think that if these are numbers, hey, here it is 0 1 2 3, so as these are numbers they should be numerical. If you think, then that's a big mistake. Okay, so you should understand the column. Okay, you should understand the column, right? And then you will be able to know whether this is a just categorical encoding of the actual column or these are actual discrete values. Okay, Those things you should be able to understand. Okay, you will be having better knowledge once we see some examples also. But yeah, so doubts? Any doubts? Is this clear? Numerical and categorical. It should be very clear actually. Or else, any doubts?
No, Santosh.
Okay, great, fine. So then now let's see some theory. Okay, so as we have seen here, see types of data. One is categorical, numerical. So in categorical data represents group or categories. Okay, that means see, yeah. So car brands. Okay, Audi, BMW, Mercedes. Okay, they fixed categories. Okay, answer to questions like yes or no. Okay, so they fixed number of possible outcomes. Okay, that's why it's categorical. But coming to numerical, so discrete, continuous. As I said, now here yeah, we'll show you. So categorical, yeah, okay, that's fine. So numerical is, yeah, yeah, numerical can be what it could be, like a person height, weight, IQ, blood pressure, etc. Those are which you can count. Okay, see number of stocks a person is owning, okay, etc. Those are all numerical. Okay, as you can see, numerical is divided into two types: discrete, continuous. Okay, discrete represents items that can be counted. Okay, they can take only possible values. Okay, the list of possible values can be fixed. Okay, or it may go to 0 1 2, but making it still finite. Okay, just see, for example, see here, the number of hits in 100 coins flips takes on values from 0 through 100. Okay, the number of hits in 100 flip coins, fine, but the number of flips needed to get 100 hits takes a values from 100 to infinity. Fine, see guys, let me ask you, let's see, uh, I'm flipping a coin. Okay, it will have heads or tails, right? It will heads or tails. Okay, I'm flipping 100 times. I'm flipping 100 times. What will be the number of hits I am going to get? If I flip the coin 100 times, what will be the number of hits I'm going to get? Is it countable? If it's countable, like what could be the number?
2 per
Many.
100.
Hmm? What? What's Adisha?
2 per 100 outcomes.
2 per 100?
Outcomes. It's countable.
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, only hits. It may be 100,
Yeah, I'm asking how many number of times we can get hits.
or maybe we can get 100,
Maybe
but it is countable.
50-50 chances.
range, guys. When you ask, when someone asks like how many times, you should say minimum and maximum.
Minimum 0, maximum 100.
Right, but it's countable, right?
Yes.
Fine. But if I ask you, see, if I ask you how many times I should flip a coin to get 100 hits? Now, min max, what are the values?
How many? I mean, we can't tell. So maximum is infinity.
Uh-huh.
Even it is not possible sometimes. 0 minimum.
0?
Minimum 100.
Correct, Meghana. With 0, how can you get 100 hits, Karthik?
100 hits.
Yeah, I want 100 hits. Right? Minimum is 100, because if you flip 100 times, every time if you get hit, then in 100 times directly you will get 100 hits.
Okay. Okay.
Right? But every time if you get tails, then even infinity times also not possible to get. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Getting? So
Yes.
now, yeah. So those are the examples representing countable infinite cases. Okay. And some more examples are number of children in a school, number of books in your library, number of cases a lawyer has won. Okay. All this. Okay, but this can be 1.2, 4.6, 8.7. This cannot be some decimal values. Okay, that results making countable. Fine. So, but see, there is a small catch here. So when I said infinitely countable infinite, so when you are counting, right, so that is infinite, right? But still they will consider it as countably infinite, means that you will have, like it is going to have some, like whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 800, 500, 600. Okay, so I agree that you cannot count like what is a value. Okay, but those are not decimals. Okay, those are not decimals. Whereas in decimals, okay, let's say you are having 50 to 60, 50 to 60. Okay, 50 to 60, if this is a min and maximum weights, okay, if these are the minimum and maximum weights, the number of possible values which a particular weight can take is, you cannot predict. Okay, you cannot actually predict, right? It could be any value. Okay, you cannot count actually. Okay, you cannot count. Fine. So that means you cannot actually give a like list of outputs also, like what all this could take, guys. So see, in the coins part, what I'm trying to say over here is, try to understand, it could be either 100 or 101 or 102. Okay, like that. Still I can say it can go for infinity. Okay, it can go for infinity. The value is infinity, fine, but at least I can give you, if I want to tell you certain values. Okay, at least I can tell you. So it can take some values, okay, between this. Okay, 100, 101, 102. These clearly you can go and count. Okay, you can say it plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, it can go over here. Okay, the final value is infinity, fine, but at least you are able to say, okay, you are able to say, okay, these are the values, it is possible, fine. But coming to continuous values, as I said, if the range is 50, minimum 60, right? Inside this, what all values it can take, you cannot count itself. Okay, what it could be, 50.01, it can take the weight, 50.001, it can take 60.00034, it can take. Still these two are numbers, right? So uncountable numbers are there, infinite numbers are there between 50 to 60, right? So they're completely different, right? You cannot at least give a, even if it is infinite values also, still you cannot give at least what all possible outcomes it can take, right? Between 60.1 and 60.2 also there are like infinite number of values, right? So this comes under continuous values. Okay, we'll see. So the possible values cannot be counted and can only be described using intervals. Okay, coming to continuous, the possible values you cannot count, fine. So here, if you are thinking, okay, so discrete values we understood, okay, it is taking fixed values. But in this flips coin example, even if the output is infinite also, still it's called countably infinite. Okay, it's called countably infinite because at least you are saying like 1, 2, 3, you can take 5, 10, 100, 1000. Okay, maximum infinite you can take. At least you will have a picture. Okay, what all values it can take. But coming to continuous, okay, the possible values cannot be counted. For example, let's say the exact amount of petrol purchased at a petrol pump for bikes with 20-liter tank would be any continuous data from 0 to 20, right? So that means if your bike tank capacity is 20 liters, and what is the exact number of petrol you can that can be filled over here? It can fill anything, right? It can fill 1.5 liter, 1.45 liter, 8.6793 liter, right? So here you cannot directly tell, you cannot at least tell what are the possible output values. Okay, so you can only represent this type of values with the range 0 to 20. Any value is possible, fine. So that's how you can do. Similarly, if you go to, like, you might pump like any number of liters. Okay, in this way continuous can be thought as uncountably infinite, fine. So these are uncountably infinite. Discrete could be sometimes countable infinite. Okay, countable infinite, fine. So that means you are able to at least say 1, 2, 3, 4 infinite. Okay, it is infinite, but still I'm able to count. But continuous will be uncountably infinite. Okay, even as I said, even between two numbers also you will have infinite value of numbers. Inside those infinite, you will have infinite value of numbers. As you can see, what is the exact number of liters I can fill? Any number you cannot say. And also, as you can see, another example, you purchase a light bulb and the shopkeeper has told it will burn for maximum 2000 hours. Okay, So maximum 2000 hours if the bulb is its lifetime as per its design, but it's not guaranteed, right? It can break in between also. So what is what all values it can take? Okay, what all values the bulb can take? 0, immediately it can fail the moment you fix it in your house, or maximum is 2000. Okay, but what all possible outcomes, if I ask you, can you tell? It cannot be like 30 hours or 39.34 hours, okay, or 123.456 hours. Okay, any number of hours between 0 to 2000 it can take, right? So obviously these are uncountably infinite numbers. Fine. So that's why. So this is the like detailed thing about continuous and discrete, but high level. So this is for your understanding, but high level, just have a picture. So as I said, numerical means they're like mostly numbers. You will see the numbers. And categorical means, okay, you will have some categories. Okay. Oh, sorry. I think we are going into numerical category. Yeah, categorical, numerical are fine. Yeah, and coming to same thing, categorical, numerical, fine. And categories, numerical numbers, and inside this discrete is, you will have discrete fixed numbers and continuous uncountable numbers. Fine. So now, with that understanding, let's try to actually go deeper. Okay, go deeper and study few more things. Fine. So here we have something, levels of measurement. Okay, something levels of measurement. Okay, see, the reason you are studying all this, right? So because you don't know what type of data you are going to deal with, because out there in the real world, types of data are like many, right? So wait, I see a message, what they're saying. Sir, once explain countable infinite. See, countable infinite means, when I'm saying, see, when I'm saying number of flips I need, okay, to get 100 heads. Okay, I'm flipping a coin. It can be what? Heads or tails. Now, నేను ఏమంటున్నానంటే, ఎన్నిసార్లు ఫ్లిప్ చేస్తే నాకు 100 హెడ్స్ వస్తాయి, 100 హెడ్స్ వస్తాయి. ఎన్నిసార్లు ఫ్లిప్ చేయాలి సరే? నువ్వు ఫ్లిప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏది వస్తుందో నీకు తెలియదు. ఓకే, సో నో, వై ఆర్ గివింగ్ థంబ్? ఐ నాట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఓన్లీ.
యా సార్, అండర్స్టూడ్. అంటే మనకి అవుట్కమ్స్ తెలియాలి అంటే ఎదర్ హెడ్ ఆర్ టెయిల్. మనకి ఇన్ఫినిటీ కంటిన్యూస్ ఇన్ఫినిటీలోనేమో మనకి ఏమొస్తుందో తెలీదు, అంటే అవుట్కమ్స్ ఏమేమి ఉంటాయో తెలీదు. సో దీనిలో హెడ్ ఆర్ టెయిల్ ఏదో ఒక అవుట్కమ్ తెలుసు కాబట్టి ఇది కంటిన్యూస్ ఇన్ఫినిటీ.
కరెక్ట్, కరెక్ట్ సరే. యా,
కౌంటబుల్, విచ్ కెన్ బి కౌంటబుల్.
కరెక్ట్.
ఓకే
సో నీకు ఏది వస్తుందో తెలుస్తుంది, అండ్ హెడ్స్ అన్న టైల్స్ అని వస్తుంది, కానీ ఎన్ని హెడ్స్ ఎన్ని టైల్స్ వస్తుంది అనేది ఇన్ఫినైట్. ఎన్నన్నా రావచ్చు, ఎందుకంటే నువ్వు 10 lakh టైమ్స్ ఫ్లిప్ చేసినా కూడా నీకు 10 lakh టైమ్స్ టైల్స్ రావచ్చు, చెప్పలేం కదా. హెడ్స్ రాదు. నువ్వు ఇన్ఫినైట్ టైమ్స్ ఫ్లిప్ చేసినా కూడా ఇన్ఫినైట్ హెడ్స్ రావచ్చు, చెప్పలేం కదా. బట్ స్టిల్ నువ్వు కౌంట్ చేయగలుగుతావు, అవుట్పుట్స్ ఏమేమి వస్తాయి అనేది ప్రతిసారి నీకు తెలుస్తుంది, ఏదైనా ఇదని రావచ్చు అదని రావచ్చు. కంటిన్యూస్ లో నువ్వు చెప్పలేవు. నంబర్ ఆఫ్ బల్బ్స్ అంటే ఎప్పుడైనా ఫెయిల్ కావచ్చు, లైక్ 734.3496 ఈ హవర్స్ లో ఫెయిల్ కావచ్చు బల్బ్. సో ఇన్ఫినైట్, అన్కౌంటబుల్ ఇన్ఫినైట్ వాల్యూస్ ఉంటాయి. క్లియర్?
ఎస్ సార్, గాట్ ఇట్.
Fine. So that is what I say, continuous and numerical. So if I just ask you a few examples, just let's see. Fine. So height. Can someone say what is height? We'll see here if you guys understood. Okay, height value. So what does this comes under? So just say categorical or numerical. If it is numerical, tell me discrete or continuous.
Numerical and continuous.
Numerical, continuous. Okay. Now if I give you like what examples I could take. It's not striking. Let me just think of number of earthquakes happened till now. Number of earthquakes, guys. భూకంపాలు ఇప్పటి వరకు ఎన్ని వచ్చి ఉండే? What that value could be? Why guys? What's the confusion here?
So all over the world based on real-time data, right?
Right, all over the world.
So we can get a figure. So it's countable, numeric and countable.
Correct. So why you are taking like time? So is దీంట్లో confusion ఏముండే? Categorical అనుకున్నారా ఇది? Hmm? Okay, so how many number of people died? Number of people died till now, till today. Okay, from earth starting, earth పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచి what is the number of people died till today?
Numerical and discrete.
Perfect. Okay, now at what age a person can die? Age any person can die.
Numerical and continuous.
Correct. Okay, because we can die anytime, right? So it could be 4 years, 3 days, 2 hours, 6 months, something like that. Anything is possible. Agree? So this is continuous, you cannot count. Okay, but here the number of people died today, this might be very extremely large number. It might go to infinity also, but still it is countable. Okay, here, but a person, at what age a person can die could be, if you consider months, years, seconds also, obviously it is uncountable. Fine. And categorical, if I say number of, yeah, so if I say number of colors in rainbow, okay, number of colors in rainbow, that what is it? That's a categorical. Fine. So in that categorical we can also encode. So WebGR, right? WebGR, rainbow colors. So here you can say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Fine. So that's categorical. So okay, I hope you had a good understanding between categorical and numerical. Fine. So now let's see, next we have something called as levels of measurement, guys. Okay, levels of measurement. So now here they're like, at high level you have two things, one is qualitative, one is quantitative. Okay, inside qualitative you have something called as nominal. Okay, you have something called as ordinal, and here in qualitative you have interval, you have something called as ratio. Okay, fine, let's try to understand these things. Okay, so see, first thing is in nominal, right? A nominal is one in which the value serves only as labels, even if those are numbers. Okay, so we'll just give you an idea and we'll come back. Okay, so coming to nominal. Okay, nominal, you need to, okay, so you need to represent the given column, okay, with some numbers. Okay, for example, as I said, you are having a column called gender. Okay, what values can a gender can take? Male, female. Okay, usually. Okay, male, female. Now as I said, you need to encode these values. Okay, you cannot directly use male on female. So I am going to use male as 0, female as 1. Case 1. Second way, I don't want to use this way. I will use male as 1, female as 0. Okay, so do you think will there be any change, or do you think is this fine if I use this way? Or does anybody thinking that I should use 0 for males definitely, or 1 for females? Or do you think any which way is fine? We just need some encoding. Okay, we just need some encoding, and we are using, we can have some numbers.
Yeah, both ways are fine mostly.
Fine.
0 nominal.
Fine, right? So nominal means the numbers are just nominal. Okay, what is the word of nominal? Just namesake, right? They will say peruk matrame, right? Only namesake. Okay, that does not give any actual importance. Okay, that does not give any actual importance. There is no order. There is nothing like males are greater than females or females are greater than males. Okay, it's just we are trying to represent. Okay, so in that case, it's called nominal. For example, red, green, yellow, colors. Okay, colors. Categorical. Obviously, these are categorical. And I want to represent with some numbers. How many numbers I can take? 3 numbers, 0, 1, 2. So you can take anything, 0, 1, 2, or 0, 1, 2. Okay, or 0, 1, 2. Any numbers. That's fine. It does not change the importance or the I would say the value of the give any category. Okay, anything works fine. Okay, so in this scenario is called nominal. Okay, these are the nominal encodings, or what do you say, nominal values. Clear? A nominal variable is one in which value serves only as labels. Okay, even if those values are numbers. Okay, for example, if
Should
you want,
start from 0 only, sir. Or else we can take any number.
no, you can take any value. I'm just giving an example. You can take any value. That's fine.
Okay, sir.
So for example, if you want to categorize male and female, you could represent, see, here we can take male as 1 and 2. Okay, that's fine. So 1 and 2 you can take for this, but even you can also take female as 1 and male as 2. Okay, however, 1 and 2 does not represent any meaningful order or carry any mathematical meaning. Agree? So they are simply used as labels. Okay, you just need some numbers. Okay, nominal data cannot be used for performing statistical computations. Okay, these are just numbers. Okay, you should not think these are actual numbers. Okay, they're just representing these categories. Fine. Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. Okay, just if I say Delhi 1, 2, 3, that does not mean Bangalore is greater than Delhi. Okay, or Mumbai is in between Delhi or Bangalore. No, these are just nominal values. Fine. Here, even though we code the different categories, we cannot say 2 is greater than 1 or female is greater than male. Okay, so that's fine. Now coming to next thing, what do we have? We have ordinal, right? So ordinal means here order is important. Okay, the values of ordinal values have a meaningful order to them. For example, education level, okay, with possible values of high school, undergraduate degree, and graduate degree would be an ordinal. Okay, so here the order actually matters, right? So as you can see, what's your degree? 10th class, intermediate, graduation, post graduation. Okay, now here the order matters, right? So if I'm saying 0, 1, 2, 3, obviously you can say 3 is greater than 2 is greater than 1 is greater than 0, right? Because post graduation is greater than graduation, greater than inter, greater than 10th. But here I cannot say that. I cannot say 2 is greater than 1. Fine. That means I cannot, who am I to decide? Female or greater than male, or male or greater than female. Okay, this is not possible. There's just nominal values. Okay, but here the order matters. Agree? Or fresher, okay, like senior, lead, manager, okay, and CEO. Obviously you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So obviously this guy is greater than. Okay, there is some order, clear order. Okay, and if you change the order, that changes the meaning, right? If you reverse the order, it changes the meaning because there is actually some order. Okay, so now these comes under ordinal data. Okay, the name itself says ordinal means you have some order inside them. Fine. So now values of the ordinal values of meaningful order. For example, education levels. Yeah, fine. There is a definite order. Okay, in the categories, graduation is greater than undergraduate. Okay, like that. But we cannot make any other arithmetic assumptions. Okay, for example, okay. So we can use frequencies, percentages, all things you can represent. Fine. So as you can see, upper class, middle class, lower class, upper class 1, 2, 3, higher satisfied class. Okay, all these ratings we can do. Okay, so fine. So we can say that the difference in height is same as below and very bad. Okay, fine. So these are actually the numbers which you can represent. That will actually carry some order. Now coming to quantitative. Data, guys. You have here also you have what? I think you are having two things. Okay, if you go above in quantitative, you have interval and ratio. Okay, so now let's try to understand what is interval, what is ratio. See, for intervals, we can make arithmetic assumptions about the degree of difference between the values. Okay, an example of interval variable would be temperature. Okay, we can correctly assume that the difference between 70 to 80 degrees, okay, is same as the difference between 80 to 90. Okay, however, the mathematical operations of the multiplication division do not apply. Okay, for instance, we cannot accurately say 100 degrees is twice as the 50 degrees. Okay, additionally, the interval variables often do not have meaningful 0 point, right? Yeah, for example, a temperature of 0 degrees does not mean a complete absence of heat. Okay, see, yeah, interval and ratio, right? Those are actually mostly same. Okay, in normal language, when we say, hey, its interval is this, its range is this, sorry, its ratio is this, but a minute difference is there, guys. Okay, interval and ratio. Okay, so here the main difference here is it will not have, this will not have an, it will not have an absolute 0. This will have absolute 0. Okay, so just try to understand what's right to absolute 0 or not. For example, if you say, temperature as an example, okay, temperature as an example. Now if it is, okay, if it is 100 degrees temperature, if it is 100 degrees temperature, fine. So that means what? It is having some heatness inside that. Okay, it is having some heatness, right? So the temperature, whatever it is there in environment, right? So we are trying to measure that, okay, with some degrees. We have invented something like degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit or Kelvin, etc. And if we see over here, there is a point. Let's say you are having 40 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees, 70, okay, 80, 90, 100. Okay, let's say these are the temperatures. Now one thing is there will be no absolute 0. That means if you keep on decreasing and let's say at 0 degrees, okay, you cannot definitely say that there is no heat. Okay, you cannot definitely say this, whatever the value we are considering over here, okay, that is not a complete absence of heat. Okay, so it is just a measure. This does not mean from the in the temperature scale, if it is 0, that does not mean it is a complete absence of heat. Okay, you will understand. For example, coming to ratio, you are having, if you are calculating weight, okay, if you are calculating weight, okay, so now weight can also take any values like 40, 50, 60, and let's say 100. But if you come back and let's say you at 0, if a particular any weight, object weight or any person's weight is 0, obviously that means that is not existing, right? If anything, whatever, even if it is a feather, okay, even it is a feather or even if it is a iron, so it should have some weight. Okay, but if it is 0, okay, if it is 0, that obviously mean it is not existing, right? So that means it is actual absolute 0, right? But here it is just a representation. It is just a representation. Okay, you can again go back. You will have some other values also, minus some minus 10 degrees, okay, minus 20 degrees. Okay, so you cannot directly say, if you are keep on increasing, whether the levels of 0 is completely decreased. Okay, you cannot directly say the levels of heat is completely 0 over here. Okay, if you like go into thermodynamics, they'll also argue that even at 0 degrees also you will have very minute level of heat, but the cold temperature will be very high. So that's why it will be more colder. Okay, but technically you cannot say it is what, it is completely 0. Okay, they will say it is close to no heat. Okay, but you cannot say it as completely 0. Okay, if you guys are not getting, so let me Google it and show you. Okay, so that we'll have better understanding. See, if I say does 0 degree means absence of heat. Okay, so if you see, yeah, 0 temperature, 0 damn cold. Okay, well, 0 is close to no heat. Okay, it's close to no heat, but it's, you cannot definitely say it is completely no heat. Okay, it's just very close to no heat. Okay, so that's why the 0 whatever you are getting over here, so you cannot directly, you cannot take it as literal 0. Okay, that's what they will call it. It's not absolute 0, it's just a representation. Okay guys, getting? But coming to ratio, if you say weight, if at all you are saying a weight of a person is 0, that means he's not existing. Okay, so if it is 0, obviously there is nothing present over there. That is one thing. So what all I mean the data type of values which are having absolute 0, so you can take them as ratio. One more important point over here is when you're saying ratio, let's say you're having 40, 50. Okay, so all these values here, if you say you're having 40, 50, 60, now you cannot say you cannot say when it is the temperature 60 minus 40, whatever you are going to do, okay, you will have 20 degrees, right? That this temperature, you cannot say if it is same as 100 minus 80. 100 minus 80 is also 20. Getting, guys? So you cannot say the temperature difference between 100 and 40 is 20. Okay, it's just a representation. Okay, but 100 minus 80, that is also 20, but this 20 you cannot say at the same intensity of this 20, because here it will be very, very hot, guys. Agree? Because 100 degrees and 80 degrees, it's much more hotter when compared to 40 and 60. Okay, these numbers, as I'm saying, try to understand, these numbers are just trying to represent the values. Okay, 160 minus 40, you are having 20 degrees temperature. Okay, but that hotness, okay, that hotness you cannot compare with the 180 degrees. Getting? But here, if you're having 30, 40, and if you're having 60, 50, 60, okay, now 50 to 60 difference is 10, okay, and 30 to 40 difference is 10. Agree? This 10 and this 10 will be obviously exactly the same, because these are the weights, actual weights. Getting? You can clearly say the difference between 30 to 40, guys, okay, it's just a weight. 10, 10, and 50 to 60 will also be 10. Okay, but here you cannot directly say, here you cannot say 60 minus 40, the intensity over here, you cannot say the intensity over here, because I will tell you, 50 to 60 degrees, right? The how much heat you require to go from 50 to 60 is not the same as to go from 90 to 100. Are you getting, guys? Do you know 50 to 60, if it is 50 degrees, okay, to go it to 60 degrees, how much temperature, how much heat you should do, right? That will not be same as 90 to 100, right? Because you need more and more heat over here. Okay, so ikkada niku koncham heat saripothe 50, from 50 it's less temperature. Okay, but as you if you want to keep on increasing the temperature, you need more and more heat. Okay, for example, if from 1 lakh, okay, from if the temperature is 1 lakh, it's very, 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 very heat, and from there if you want to go into next 10 degrees, okay, even if you go to if to want to increase 10, so not 10 degrees, yeah, you will need more heat. Okay, but here the weight is always same. Even if 1 lakh, if you add 10, it will go to 1 lakh plus 10. Okay, these are the absolute values. That's what I'm trying to say. In absolute values, you will have absolute 0. These are just a representation. These are representation of some temperature. Okay, so that will be the basic difference between interval and ratio. Okay, but don't worry, if you're not getting at this stage while we are solving certain problems, you will definitely understand. Okay, so now, as you can see, for example, if I just show you some examples, additionally, yeah, you cannot accurately say 100 degrees is twice as 50 degrees. Okay, you cannot say, as I said, 50 degrees is twice, 100 degrees is twice as 50 degrees. Fine. Additionally, the interval does not have meaningful 0 point. For example, the temperature of 0 does not mean complete absence of point heat. Okay, so it is just a statistical measure. Fine. So measurement of time of an historical events undergo scale, since it has no fixed 0 year is different for different religious years. Okay, yeah, you can understand from here also. As I said, in interval quantitative interval, the 0, whatever the 0 you are taking, right, that's not an absolute 0. It's just a representation. Okay, it's just a representation. For example, a time, historical time. So for Hindus, let's say, they will believe the universe has started some, like, let's say 4 lakhs years ago, right? So for us, if you go according to our scriptures and some Vedas, the time has actually started 4 lakh years back. Okay, and that time, the starting day will be our zeroth day. Agree? But let's say for Christians, the day one will be what? We are having BC AD, right? BC and AD. Now we are in AD. Okay, but whatever you are having between this, that will be 0. Okay, this is called before BC and this is called after AD. Okay, so the day, like when, like something did Jesus birth or Jesus death, right? So that is considered as what? 0. That will be day 0. It is there. And coming to Muslims, related to Allah, something they will have, that will be 0. And some other Jains, some 0. So the time is same, but you are just trying to represent it in your own way. That is not the absolute 0. You cannot say this 0 is absolute. They will say this 0 is absolute. Okay, no, this is just a representation. Nobody can claim that what is the actual 0. No, that is just your understanding. So that's why 0 is different for different religions. Okay, there is no absolute 0. But if you see in the ratio part, it should have absolute values. As you can see, measurement of average height of a student in class. Okay, measurement of average height in a student in class. So if the height is 0, obviously he's not present, right? If the height is 0, that means it is actual 0, absolute 0. If the height is 0, means the student is no more, is not existing, right? If he's existing, there should be some height. Same thing as weight, right? Absolute 0. These are no, even if any part of the world you go, 0 height means there is no person over there. Okay, 0 weight means even if you go to any planet also, 0 weight means obviously this is absolute 0, right? That means the person is not existing. Okay, we did not create this. Okay, 0 itself means 0 weight means we actually irrespective of any other parameters, 0 weight means no person existing, 0 height means nobody is existing, right? But as I said, 0 temperature you cannot absolutely say, 0 date you cannot absolutely say, it changes, it's not just your representation. Okay, so are you guys able to understand this? Is it clear, guys? Any doubts?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
yeah, so are you guys going to college? Let me do, or what do you say? Shall we continue for some time or shall we stop?
I can continue, sir.
సో ఇద్దరు ఒకటేసారి చెప్పినారు, ఒకరు కంటిన్యూ అన్నారు, ఇంకొకరు ఐ నాట్ గెట్. ఐ థింక్ మేఘన యూ సెడ్ కంటిన్యూ. శిరీష, వాట్ అబౌట్ యు?
Okay, sir, continue.
Okay, we'll not take much time. Okay, we'll just see some examples. Okay, so as I said, I'm going slowly, guys, in stats. Okay, so see, I can cover these in like 10 minutes also, but I'm taking some time to cover so that you are like good with each and every concept, right? So in the content, when you're trying to solve machine learning algorithms, right? So each and every column, when you are by seeing the column only, you should understand, hey, numerical, categorical, discrete, continuous. Okay, ఇది categorical ఉంది. Categorical ఉంటే obviously you should encode. How can you encode? Directly no nominal encoding చేస్తావా, categorical, sorry, I would say, what was it, ordinal encoding చేస్తావా, ఇంకా different types of encodings ఉంటాయి. Okay, should have that. So every, as I said, whatever you are studying, right? So you will see a direct application when we are studying the machine learning class. Okay, fine. So after that, fine, so we'll cover a small concept over here today. Okay, small and very simple concept, but everybody of you might have already know this. Okay, see, there are I already have something. Let me see. Okay, fine. So next concept would be okay, it is called something related to central tendency, guys. Okay, now this is the core statistics actually, right? So you are slowly you are going to enter core statistics, and it will be very interesting actually. So normally people, I also felt initially, right, to be honest, I felt stats is dry. Okay, it's something difficult to understand. Okay, initially you will feel that, but once you start understanding, once you regularly follow class and make notes, right, it will be actually interesting. Okay, so now we are going to see something like central tendency. Okay, before that you need to understand few things. Okay, few things. Okay, so but see what all we are studying, right? So that all are for to improve our understanding more and more for a given column. Okay, first we understood if given a column, what type of data it could be. Okay, what type of what type of segregation I want to do, categorical, numerical, that's fine. But now let's say you understood whether it's categorical, numerical. After that, what you should do, right? So after that, to understand more about the data, okay, you have certain tools. Okay, first thing is mean. Okay, you have something called as median. Okay, we have something called as mode. We have something called as range. Okay, so these are the 4 basic measurements which you can do. Okay, very simple but very useful. Okay, we'll see. Now, why are these called as central tendency, right? See, for example, there is a school. Okay, there is a school, and you have many classes. Okay, you have many classes. Okay, let's say this is bad drawing, but still this is, assume this school, and there is a one class, let's say fifth A. Now if a teacher, okay, enters this class, and let's say you are the monitor of the class, okay, and the teacher asks you, hey, just tell me the weight of your average weight of your class. Sorry, not why weight is important, let's say height. Okay, due to for some sports competition they want height. Okay, they will ask you, hey, just I'll come back in 5 minutes, tell me the average height of your class, 50A class. Fine. Now obviously what does teacher want? Teacher want to know average height. She said average height. Why she's saying average height? Even though she want to know the height of every person in the class, but if you are having 60 students in the class, it is not possible to tell 60 heights. And even if you tell also, she cannot use 60 somewhere. Okay, it's not usable. Okay, everything we study should get used somewhere, right? So obviously we cannot do with more numbers. That's why we'll always try to bring down to one number, or very small numbers, so that it is very useful to us to use. But now when I'm saying 60 numbers, so from the 60 heights, 60 people will have 60 heights. You cannot use all those 60. Then what I should do? Let's say the starting of the height means, let's say it is starting with 4.8. Okay, and slowly increasing. Maximum is, let's say in school maximum height, let's say 5.5. Okay, this is a, for 60 people, every height is falling in this range, minimum height, maximum height. Fine. Now this guy cannot tell all 60 heights. So what it will do? Obviously, if you consider only these heights, you are ignoring this and you are doing injustice to these guys. Agree? So if you are considering only these guys, you are doing injustice to this. If you're considering only these guys, you are doing injustice to this. So what it will do? You should not be biased. So obviously you will go for some middle number, right? So you will also consider these guys, you will also consider these guys. So you will settle at some middle number, right? So what is that middle number? That middle number is called average. Agree? That middle number is called average. So for simplicity, if the heights are like 4, just as an example, 4, 4, 5, 5. Okay, 4, 4, 5, 5. Okay, so then you can say, what is the average? Average is what? Average is sum of the numbers by count of the numbers. Okay, what is sum? 4, 9, 9, 9, 18 by 4. What is 18 by 4? What? 4.5. Okay, so where you will have 4.5, somewhere you will have 4.5. Okay, so now this 4.5 is, what is 4.5? 4.5 is not the minimum number, 4.5 is not the maximum number. Okay, so it is doing justice to this guy also, it is doing justice to this guy also. Agree? So average, so now it is trying to stay somewhere in the middle. Correct? It is trying to stay somewhere in the middle, so that this will balance both the lower numbers also and higher numbers also. Agree? So this middle is also called center, right? Is also called center. So that's why these concepts are called central tendency concepts. Okay, central tendency concepts. What are those? Whatever you studied, the average is actually also called as mean in statistical language. Okay, this is called mean or average. Simple, in normal language you call it average, but statistically you should call them as mean. Okay, so as you can see, mean will try to always stay in the middle. Okay, in the center. That's why this is called central tendency. And there are other central tendencies also, which we will see. Okay, so if you see, yeah, so for example, if I just give you mean median mode. Okay, I'll just take some online example and we'll try to, yeah, so it should be good. So now fine, so yeah, see guys, mean of the value, okay, mean of the value is the average. That means the total of the numbers divided by the how many numbers are there. Okay, that means if you see what is the mean of these numbers, all these numbers, it is simply the sum by the count. Okay, 9 numbers, sum 99 by count 9, 11 is the mean of these numbers. Agree? Simple. Now, but coming to the mode number, sorry, not mode, median. The number which is in the middle, or the middle number, is called the median. Okay, just try to understand. Median is the middle number is called the median. So now let's not get confused. Okay, yeah. So if you see, if I say 1 2 3, fine. So what is the median, guys? 2, middle number. Okay, if I have 1 2 3 4 5, middle number 3, 90 92 98, for that matter anything. Okay, for that matter, let's say 1 2 3 90 100. What is the median? 3. Agree? But if at all you are having, okay, this is when you are having the numbers are the numbers in the count of numbers is odd. Okay, the count of numbers is odd. Okay, to calculate median there are few rules. Okay, let's quickly understand so that we'll have a complete picture. Okay, for median the count should be, first of all, the given number should be sorted, guys. Okay, when you're saying middle number, okay, when you're saying middle number, obviously it should be sorted, right? Because if you don't sort, the order will change, right? The first thing, the number should be sorted. After that, the count can be odd and even. The count can be odd, okay, or count can be even. Agree? Because if the count is just 1 2 3, what is the count? Count is 3, that means odd. So you can simply have the middle number. Middle is 2, the median is 2. But if you have 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, what is the count? Count is 4, that is even. What is the middle number in 1 2 3 4? Can someone say? No, you don't have any middle number, right? So in that case, you will take the average of these two, the mean of these two. 3 plus 2, 5 by 2, 2.5. 2.5 is the median. Agree? Okay, so we'll see that. So the middle number which represents is this. Okay, so if at all you have this, but if the count is, if the count is odd, so you can directly go for the middle number. If the count is even, you should go for the mean of the middle number. Okay, that is a median. Okay, if it is even, fine. So but the number should be sorted, guys. But the number should be sorted. Okay, but in the mean, but what will the mean? Mean is no need of any odd or even, whatever the number you have, sum by count of the numbers. Fine, that is simple. But coming to the mode, right? Coming to the mode, the number that appears the most, okay, the number that appears the most is the mode. Whichever the number appears the most, that is the mode, irrespective of anything. Okay, so that means what? That means what? If I'm having 1 2 2 3 4 4 4 5 6, now which number is repeating most? 4. Now the mode is 4. Agree? 90 91 91 92, mode is 91. Getting, guys? Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Now can you tell me what is the mode here?
2 and 3.
Yes, 2 and 3. Now what is the mode here?
Zero.
0. Where is number 0?
All are modes 1 2 3 4.
There is no mode. Okay, so if nobody, no, okay, you can say that's a good point. So you can say all are all are modes, but usually if every number is not repeating same number of counts, then there is no mode. Okay, it's not 0, Sirisha. There is no number 0. Okay, that 0 is different. So now what you are in statistics class, right? So the numbers will start have different meanings. Okay, 0 is not existing. So it will have different numbers. So 0 is, you don't have the number 0. Okay, so now coming to mode. So 3 points we have seen. It can have a mode. A set of numbers can have a mode. Set of numbers can have multiple modes. A set of numbers can have no mode also. Clear? Regarding the modes. So, and coming to range, it is just maximum number minus minimum number. Okay, smallest minus. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5. The range is 5 minus 1. Okay, it is a range. Okay, so this is the basics. Okay, I'll revise because these are very, very important. Mean, simple, average, you don't need to think anything, just sum of the numbers by total count of numbers, mean, that's it. Median, అది మిడిల్ నెంబర్ కాబట్టి మనకి 1 2 3 4 numbers ఉంటే మిడిల్ నెంబర్ తీసుకోలేము. 2 కూడా మిడిల్ కావచ్చు, 3 కూడా మిడిల్ కావచ్చు. అందుకే ఏం చేస్తామంటే దీని యావరేజ్ తీసుకుంటాం. అంటే మీన్ కాన్సెప్ట్ కూడా మీడియన్లో యూజ్ అవుతుంది. ఎప్పుడు ఆడ్ కౌంట్ ఈవెన్ ఉన్నప్పుడు యూ విల్ సే 3 + 2 / 5, సారీ బై 2, యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ 2.5. ఓకే, ఒకవేళ కౌంట్ ఆడ్ ఉందనుకో 1 2 3 ఉందనుకో ఆబ్వియస్లీ 2 సింపుల్. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో సింపుల్ మీడియన్. ఫైన్, that is median, the middle number. Okay, now coming to mode, the maximum number. Okay, so coming to mode, the maximum number which is repeating, it does not worry about anything. Okay, then order తో సంబంధం లేదు, ఏం లేదు. Okay, if at all you have 1 1 1 10 20, okay, it does not care, 1 is repeating 3 times, so mode is 3. Clear, just by the count. And inside mode also we have seen a set of numbers can have mode. Yes, it cannot also, it may also not have mode. It can also have multiple modes. Clear? And coming to range, it is just smallest number minus, largest number minus smallest number in the given set of values, maximum value minus minimum value. Okay, so is this clear, guys? Do you have clear understanding between these four, mean, median, mode and range? You should have very clear understanding. If not, let me know doubts.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Here, but here there is a catch. There is a very, very important thing. So okay, do you guys have time? 2 minutes of time? College keltunnaru ee roju?
I'm not going, sir.
Okay, so we'll see. So fine, I'll check 5 more minutes. Okay, so now here is those are simple. What you understood is very simple, anybody can understand. Okay, but the important thing you need to understand here is very interesting. See, now if I say 1 2 3 4 5, okay, now quickly tell me what is the mode, mean and median. Fast, guys, someone tell me what is mean and median.
Three.
Okay,
Three.
okay, fine, that is simple. But now see what happens. Now what I'm doing, if at all I'm adding some number, what I'm saying, I'm adding 0 1 2 3 4 5 100. Okay, now tell me what is mean, tell me what is median, quick. What's mean, what's median, guys?
So it is in decimal, like around 16 point something. That is mean.
Okay, median.
Median is 3.
3. Okay, so now if you try to see here, so if I just take a number line, okay, I'm using this number line. So number line, what you will have 0, you will have -1 -2 like that. Okay, here what you will have 1 2 3, okay, like that. You will have, let's say somebody has 16 and somebody will have 100. Sorry, Karthik, what? Okay, so now if you see in the first case, mean is here, median is here. Okay, mean and median are here. Fine, if I'm adding just one number or two numbers, okay, 0 and 100, just two numbers, if I add, what happened to mean, guys? What happened to mean? Where did the mean go? 16. From here to, it jumped here, 16. See, you're able to see, but the median is here only. Median is here only because it's a middle number. Agree? As that's why it is very important to understand this point. So mean is influential. Okay, mean can get easily influenced. Okay, but median is more robust. Okay, so this might be interview question. They'll ask you like, what is most simple? They will ask you, hey, what's the mean median? You will explain. They'll give example. You will say, but they will say, hey, I'm saying 1 2 3 4 5. I'm getting mean median 3, but I'm adding this number. Mean is changing. Okay, even but if you just extend, if you are able to see, if I add instead of 100, if I add 1 lakh, do you know what will be my mean? It shifts, it will be somewhere in hundreds. Agree? 1 lakh plus 5, all this by 6, if you do, it will go somewhere in hundreds. But what is median? What is median, guys? It's still 3, because it's still the middle number, right? Now if I add one more number here, -1, and if I add 2 here, if I add 1 crore, what is my median? Still 3, because still it is middle number. It is just a middle number. Agree? But what happened to my mean? It went somewhere, because now 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1 lakh plus 1 crore. By if you do 6, it will go to some lakhs or some thousands. Mean has escaped to some other place. Agree? So that's why mean is not a robust. Okay, mean is not a robust measurement. Clear? But median is more or less, it stays there only. Okay, it's just a middle number. But coming to mean, okay, mean will always try to do justice to every person that is getting added. Okay, so this guy is a very good guy. Mean, so any new person that comes into picture, he will try to do justice. He will run there. Okay, if 100 is adding, he will do justice to this guy also. That's why from 3 he will jump to 16. Okay, if we had like 2000, he will try to do justice to that guy also. He will jump to some 40. If 1 lakh you are adding, he will jump over there. Okay, the mindset of mean will always to consider every person. Okay, to consider every person, low, medium, high, every person he wants to consider and do justice to everybody. Okay, but median, this guy is a bit selfish. Okay, so he will just be in the middle. No matter what happens, he will be more or less, he'll stay in the middle. So even if you add some number over here or over here, irrespective of the value of the number, he will always try to stay in the middle. So this is a bit more reliable. Okay, we will see why this is more reliable, but at least from this basic example, I hope that you are able to understand. Mean is not stable. Okay, median is robust. Okay, that's why they will say median is a bit robust measurement. Okay, so because because as you can see, just to give you one more new concept, this whatever the value which you are adding, right, the 1 lakh, 1 crore, these are also called as outliers, guys. Okay, we'll see in detail what are outliers, but just since we came across, these are called outliers. In the country, that does not make any sense, right? Because if you're having some numbers 0 1 2 3 4, suddenly you are getting 1 lakh, 1 crore. Obviously that is not matching with the pattern, right? If these are number of kids a person is having, so 0 1 2 3 4, suddenly if you see 1 crore, 1 lakh, it's impossible. So that does not make any sense, right? So but still whether it is a possible or not possible value, mean will always try to consider that. If you just include this, if you consider this, and if you consider the mean, okay, so what's happening? So as I said, you are having 1 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, these are the actual values, number of kids a person can have. Okay, suddenly if I include, like, let's say, even if I include 100 also, this is not possible, right? But what mean will do? Mean will, it will just consider all the values and do, as Karthik said, the mean will something around 16. Okay, if I go for median, obviously the value is 3, right? If the value is 3, it is staying pretty much over there. Okay, if you don't consider this, the mean and median are 3,3, right? But if I'm adding just 100, the mean is going to 16 and median is staying at 3 only. So that's why the actual value is actually 3, right? This 100 is something like unwanted value, somewhere, due to some mistake while entering, right? From entering, people might do some mistake or some system error, somewhere you got this 100, which is an outlier, okay, which is some outside data. But the problem with the mean is it will consider every value and it will try to do justice. That's why it will shift towards that number. Okay, whatever the number you are entering, right, from 3, it will try to shift toward that. Okay, it will try to shift. If you are having 1 lakh, it will shift even more. Okay, irrespective of whether the added number is an outlier or not. So that's why you cannot, but if you use 16 now in place of 3, obviously if you pass this number as a mean, if you start using this number, it will completely disturb all the results, because 16 is very, very different number from 3, right? So that's the reason mean is sometimes not very reliable. Okay, especially in the case of outliers. And as you can see, it is very influential. That means for every new value that is getting added, it will try to jump. Okay, if you start adding some values over here, if you start adding 100 minus 200, it will start jumping from here to here. It will always try to do justice and go to the newly added numbers. Okay, so it's not that stable. But whereas as you can see, the median, more or less, it's always staying over here. Okay, whatever the numbers, what is the value numbers you're trying to see, you will always be here. So that's why if you consider median in the non-outlier case and the outlier case, median was very helpful, right? So that's why it's called very, very robust measure. Okay, even if you pass these values, okay, the results are very fruitful. Okay, but median, I'm not saying median is bad, but there are some cases you should understand that median can get very easily influenced. With one single outlier only, you can clearly see the median has completely changed. 3 is very, very different from 16. Okay, and in statistical, in machine learning part, this number is very, very different. Okay, from 3 accuracy, if you go to 16 accuracy, it's completely different. Okay, so that will not make any sense. Fine. So that's why, as you can see, mean and median, okay, tendencies you should be able to understand. Okay, so that is one thing. Okay, now, yeah, so I would say mean and median are those you should be able to understand which is robust, and median and range. Okay, so mode and range, I think they are pretty straightforward concepts. Okay, so let me know, guys, any doubts? Are you able to understand the concept clearly, crystal clearly?
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay, fine, that sounds great. Okay, fine, that's all for today, I would say. So try to revisit the class and try to start making notes, I would suggest, if you have that patience. Okay, but fine, so tomorrow we are going to see few more interesting concepts. Slowly we will enter into the core statistics. Okay, fine, that's all from my end. Thanks for joining. Let's meet tomorrow, same time, same link.